Welcome to my second sea adventure. This time I'm sailing solo, but I'm bringing a few friends along for the ride too. Our journey takes us from the beautiful port of Dinowic to the open Irish Sea and then on to our destination, the beautiful Aberffrau. Here we spend the night in the tidal river behind the cliffs, camping overnight on the shore. On our sail back the next day, we experience the sun, the cold, and the rain. So come with me as we explore what the Irish Sea has to offer. 3 small dinghies sailing alone. I think it's about nine-ish. Could be wrong. Oh, it's a bit slippy there. And yeah, more than enough. Whoa, it's very slippy there. More than enough water to get the lugger in now. And there's Lulu. We start our adventure from the beautiful village port of Dinowic. From here, we sail down the Menai Straits and through the much-feared Abermenai Channel. Our journey then takes us over the Caernarfon sandbanks and into the open Irish Sea, around the Cardinal marker at Southwest Rock. The last leg takes us along the Anglesey coastline and then into the river at Aberffrau. Here we are. Helen, Seal, Lulu. And we're ready to go. They've got their sails up. So you're sailing from the off, Norman? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Right, we better get sorted. So I'm tied up here at the moment. So we're gonna get me buoyancy aid on and we're gonna go. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite nervous, but you know, new things is good, and that's what this channel's all about. It's about, you know, just try new things even when you're my age. So, you know, there we go. There's Mabel waiting for us. Hope she's there when we get back. And I'm going to get the sails up then, and we're going to kind of cast off and get going. We set sail in light winds, and whilst the wandering wayfarers seem to make a bit of headway, Lulu struggles. It's only the tide in the Menai Strait that's carrying her along right now. So, I decide to drop the outboard. I think there's a 5-knot limit until obviously you get to about here, because that boat just suddenly zoomed off. So here we're supposed to keep the greens to starboard. We're sailing and we're with friends. That's what outboards are for. Now, the yellow boat is a Wanderer, which is a 14-foot version of the blue boat, which is a Wayfarer. Both keen sailing boats, both with keen sailors on board. We are a lugger, and we will struggle to keep up with these guys sailing wise on a maybe not on a reach, but so far you can see we're kind of drifting at all the same speed. So no mizzen yet, just one thing less to worry about. And if you're wondering who the petrol can is, that's Norman's over there. He just ran out of space, so I thought the least we could do is offer a little bit of our acres of space we've got on board.
We get the chart out to check our progress.
There we go. So we got in here at Dinowic on these moorings there, small craft moorings, and we've just drifted up here. So there's the speed limit across the strait, and then we have just passed that green buoy. Oh well, actually she's right back there now, and there's a red one somewhere down here. Hard to see, but we're actually coming up on some moorings which are Menai. So we're around here. I think that's Menai. So it's a great sort of adventure centre, water sports centre. You can launch from there, I think, but I don't fancy reversing down that ramp with a big sort of bend at the end. Incidentally, I think these are the boats, or some of these are the boats you can do your day skipper on. So just going to paddle because there is a motorboat coming up that way. So if we steer the boat with the tiller tamer and just give it a little bit of steerage one way, it actually, you know, we can paddle just one side. And I've actually doubled our speed. We're doing 1.2. We're now doing 3. And yeah, of course it's not so efficient because you're sort of, the rudder's not straight. But you can see we're catching them up now. Be interesting to see what they make of this.
My plan is to secretly use my paddle to see if we can creep up and catch the other boats up without them realising.
We'll see if I don't think Norman's see me using the oar, so we see what he makes of us when we come zooming past him. Oh, he's just spotted me. You've just spotted me. I was going to come past you and go say ask you what was wrong with your boat. No problem a paddle can't solve. You can see how much steering Joey's having to do over there. In fact, I think he's using his rudder like I do on the mirror to give him a little bit of a paddle there. Mark's got his paddle out. We've started a trend. Norman's got his spade out. He's actually doubled his speed, I think.
Off we go with the motor again.
We've given up. We're just having a shouty conversation, and we've just all decided it's just, a little bit of wind's okay, but no wind at all is crap. So we're dropping the motors. You can see Norman's up there. There's the Wayfarer. Now, this is where we should have the edge because we've got a much longer water line. So we should be able to have a higher top speed. So that was always the ploy, going out with these little speedy dinghies. Say little, the Wayfarer's not particularly little. But yeah, so we decided, the other reason is that, we don't want to go through the Abermenai point at the wrong time, so we need to get down there. Well, we're just going to move.
The Abermenai Channel is the small, narrow channel at the south end of the Menai. You must go through it at the right time and the right conditions, otherwise it can be quite dangerous.
Doing 7.6 knots. And look at, we're hardly anywhere near top throttle. And in fact, we can bring that down substantially. And we're still kind of doing 7 knots. I think we've got about 2 knots of tide here now, actually.
The tide was racing through the channel, so we had to be careful. It was about mid-tide.
I felt Lulu was almost getting onto plane then. So Norman's taken us over this quite high drying out area, but we know the tide is going to be about 6-7 meters. So we've probably got about 3 meters under us still. But you see, this little channel here is the inner channel, but it's like where there's an anchorage. This is the main channel. And you see to port is that green buoy over there. And another green buoy.
I was finding Savinavi on my phone really useful to navigate through the channel.
C13. The lights don't come on during the day, so we'd have to get the binoculars out. Oh, there's C13. I'm going to get my binoculars out and check. It's like Lake Placid here.
Little did I know, conditions were about to change.
Caernarfon Castle just in front there. It's brilliant, that castle. It's really good. So that sea tells you there's something underneath here. Look, and then there is a breeze. There's a breeze, now. Yeah, look at this. These are like, I guess this is what you would call standing waves. But obviously they're not a problem, because there's been very little wind this last week to 10 days, and actually what wind there has been very confusing. It's been all over. So, it's not given the sea any time to build. So, we should technically have pretty good conditions even if the wind kicks up. A little bit of wind here. There's actually a little bit of swell as well, just building. You can see we're now going at 3.2 knots. Bit of grey sky, look, clouds bringing in some weather front maybe. And we have to keep ourselves angled a little bit. So I know that we're at 210, let's say 200 degrees. And we have a nice little sail. There's a breeze, little gust. And I can see the 2 guys up there. They've literally jibed around. Well, I thought they jibed around the red cam, but they jibed just before that. At the head, that's like a little, it's like a little bay. You can anchor in there. It does dry out quite a lot. So you don't want to go too far in, but you can anchor there for the night. And then there is the Abermenai strait or point, and you can see Norman whizzing along there, and we have just caught a little bit of wind that he had earlier as well. You can see it here, it is, look, coming now. So we're going to let that wind kind of come and pass us, and then we're going to try and cut up there, jibe up and then jibe back, and we'll try and sort of work out where they've gone.
We jibe so we can get a better angle to pass through the Abermenai channel, hopefully under sail. I'm pretty sure there's some better wind over there too. So off we sailed to go and find it.
Little gust. Got up to about 4.5 knots, and we're beating.
Finally, we found some wind and we were majestically sailing. One more jibe and we'd be through the Abermenai Channel.
This is where they were catching some wind as well. It's amazing how narrow the Abermenai point is. And here we are, look how quick we're going, 7 knots. A little bit of tide helping us here. Yes, there's a little light.
We eased sheets as we passed through the Abermenai Channel, doing nearly 8.5 knots.
And here we are, I would say... Oh, I don't know, let's have a look over there. I would say we are in the Irish Sea. This is a momentous occasion. Lulu in the Irish Sea. That is pretty amazing.
We'd made the first leg of our journey, out through the Abermenai Channel and into the Irish Sea.
Beautiful landscape. I haven't got a cup, but I've got the old faithful whiskey out, and we're going to have the rest of this because this is a momentous occasion. So I want to firstly just do a little toast to Lulu because she is one hell of a boat. She's so far, she's taken everything that's been thrown at her. She's looked after me amazingly well, and I just couldn't have hoped for a better boat than this. She's such an amazing boat. And I'm having the time of my life, now. It's one for the boat. Thank you, Lulu. A little bit more for you, my darling. One for Neptune. Well, let's just make sure Neptune got his share. And one for me. Cheers.
The wind suddenly died, so we furled ourselves away with the plan to put the outboard back.
Hold on to this main. But yeah, as I was saying, I like to furl it up fully.
Hopefully, we'd catch the others up quickly.
I'll just get this little one around first. It seems to hold true. There we go. Right, let's motor and catch them up. And we are heading, if we maintain a course over ground of 285, which we're roughly there, we will see, or we'll head straight for the South Cardinal marker. We are catching the other guys up now quite significantly, and we're doing a merry old 6.5 knots.
With a high tide, we had enough room beneath us to cut across the sandbanks. Our next challenge would be to pass safely past the Cardinal mark at Goledi Torbac, which is the little tower lighthouse.
Obviously this is now all Anglesey. This is Wales. An island is somewhere over there. Sea's getting a bit rougher here, just a bit more swell. Having to fight it a little bit with the rudder. And we are catching the Wayfarer and the Wanderer, slowly but surely. A little bit of a shame because we're missing some good sailing, but we're quite well into the wind here. So, and like I said, I'd like to catch up with them just so we're on the same time. There she is. Quite a small cardinal mark, really, especially if you come from Liverpool. The ones in the Mersey are enormous. We'll see if we've got a little bit of tide. You can see it's rocking slightly to our left.
We got through the most difficult part of the journey. And we're now sailing in a beautifully calm Irish sea. We'd made it through a very calm Menai strait, through the Abermenai channel and to the South Cardinal Bar. And this is where the journey ends for this episode. In the next episode, we'll continue our journey to Aberffrau, where we spend the night on the beach camping before making the journey home.